Many Hindutva and BJP supporters allege that the Tamil Nadu government is misappropriating the properties of Tamil Nadu temples through the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department. Prime Minister Modi spoke out against the management of temples while attending a public event in Nizamabad, Telangana. Hindutva people say that the government should leave the Hindu temples and the temples should be handed over to the devotees. The question that arises here is, who are those devotees? Tamil Nadu is one of the states that manages the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department well. Does the Tamil Nadu government collect money from Hindu temples? Let's see the answer to the question. Let me first give some background on the history of the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department. During the British occupation, the East India Company received some concerns about temples and foundations. The Madras State Grants and Inheritance Regulating Act 1817 was subsequently passed. This act became operative on September 30, 1817. This act made it clear that the gifts and temple property were to be maintained, not that the proceeds would be used to fund the government. In 1863, the Religious Endowments Act 1863 was enacted after Queen Victoria assumed the rulership of India. This act created local temple committees to supervise local agents. However, there were problems in the management of these groups. The Civil Procedure Code, Section 92, was passed in 1908. Courts began hearing lawsuits involving temples. But because it was challenging to win cases in these courts, a significant portion of the temple's assets into private hands. In this case, the Justice Party government that came to power in Madras Presidency enacted the Madras Hindu Religious Trusts Act in 1927. Based on that, the Madras Hindu Religious Endowment Board was set up. The act empowered the government to appoint administrative officers for temples that were not properly managed. The upper caste protested against this law, saying that the government interfered in religion. Subsequently, Madras Presidency Chief Minister Panagal King Ramarayaningar gave an explanation to Irwin, who was the then Viceroy, and got approval for this law. After India's independence, the Madras Hindu Religion and Endowments Act was passed in the Madras Presidency in 1951. The hereditary trusteeship system was abolished by this act. In 1959, Tamil Nadu Hindu Religious Charitable Trusts Act 1959 was enacted to clear some of the problems in the past act. Accordingly, the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department was created to manage temples and religious institutions. The Commissioner of the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department can summon the Deputy Commissioners, Associate Commissioners and Trustees of any temple under his control and ask for accounts. This law continues to this day. The money for the temples is deposited into the bank accounts of the respective deities of the temples. The extra money from a large temple can be used to repair damaged temples, offer alms to the needy, operate hospitals, run schools, run a home for lepers, or run an elderly care facility. Some people are against the department because they don't want to spend temple money for these kinds of worthwhile works. So does the government take the temple money? The Temple Board of Trustees must provide its approval if it is determined to spend money from the temple's revenue. It can be used in the right way. There has been a fake claim that the government is stealing the money that falls into the bank for a very long time. In the presence of the people and with their participation, the money is counted and placed in the bank in honor of the relevant deities. If temples are to be freed from government control, who will take control? People can raise questions about their donations and tributes as long as the temple will be in government control. It must be remembered that if the temples go into private ownership, the people themselves will have no right to ask the question of how the donations paid by the people will be spent. If anyone notices the misuse of the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department, surely they can file the case in the court. Because that is a public asset as long as the temple will be in government control. Through the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department, now all the temples are in public control. Kindly comment on your opinions of the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department.